Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Jamal. It is Christmas 2011 in Chicago. The winter has not begun. It has not snowed much, and I am very nervous because according to many veteran Chicago livers, this is not good, and they're saying that this may be one of the most harsh winters that we've ever seen coming up. So please be in prayer for me. I just wanted to do a quick update on what's going on in my life and how everything is going with ministry, and it's been an amazing journey. It has been 6 months now since I've moved my entire life and stepped out on faith, believing the call of God and the voice of God to come here and serve my pastor, Matthew Stevenson, and to plant the youth ministry underneath the church, All Nations Worship Assembly. And I can say that it's been a journey at that. We launched the youth ministry in September, and we had over about a good 35-40 students come out that first night, and we had a great turnout, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is going to be easier than I thought. Well, the next service, we do services every other week. We were doing it on Tuesday nights, and so I'm like, okay, this is good. And so the next time we had service, we had 6 students, and I was like, okay, all right. We're going to keep believing, and I told my leaders, okay, we're going to keep going forward. We're going to keep calling the students. We're going to keep, just doing what we have to do and get them here. We do service again, and we had like 4, and I was like, okay, and I believe we had around 5 or 6 services until I realized, okay, something is not working. We were not growing. Students were not coming out. It was borderline failure. And I was like, okay. So I met with my students, and I'm gonna say this now, it was a very discouraging time. So I met with my leaders, and I got on my face, and the word of the Lord came to me. And it was, Luke 22, 32, I believe, when Jesus says to Peter, Peter, I pray for you that your faith fail not. And when you have turned, I pray that you would lift up your brothers. And this word hit me in the bottom of my stomach. And God spoke to me, Jamal, faith fail not. What have I spoken? What promise have I given you? Believe me for that. And my promise that I'm believing for every young person in Chicago to feel the ripple effect of this ministry that we're starting. And so I believe God. I said, okay, let's get on the horse and let's find out what we need to do to get this thing rocking. So I met with my parents, and I said, okay, parents, what do we need to do to get this thing back on track? And so we changed the night to Friday nights, because that just, in the city, we're just, okay, we got to try something out new. We changed it to Friday nights, and our first Friday night service, we had over 30 kids come out. Parents were bringing kids, and it just, you can just feel the shift and the change. And it's been from there, we've had 3 meetings on Friday nights, and it's just growing from there. The students' walls are coming down. We're growing. We're seeing the students just completely transformed and relationships being built. Next week, I'll be taking 30 students and leaders to the ramp, a 12-hour trip to Atlanta, Georgia, to bring in the new year underneath the power of God. I am believing for a true awakening in all of my students. And so I can truly say that I have seen the word of the Lord come forth, and faith fail not. But your faith cannot fail not, have the opportunity to fail not when it's not being tested. And so if there's anything I want to encourage you with, just through what I'm going through here, and just this, being a very interesting season for me, personally and ministerially, I can say within my life and ministry that it's been faith fail not. And so I want to encourage you, whatever it may be in your life, look at what's not working and say, God, what do I need to do to change this? Because I know that you've spoken for this thing to happen. And you sit on Luke 22, my faith will fail not. I'm going to believe you through this. And so that's what I've been doing, and I'm seeing it happen. This is my first Christmas away from home, away from my family, but I know that it's all to the glory of God. And so sacrifices are being made, but I do believe 100% that God is coming behind these sacrifices with the promises that He's spoken, and He's bringing the answers. Ministry is going very well, believing God for that. And just update with me how life is going. I get asked this question literally every time I'm on the phone with either my mom or dad. I was talking to my dad, just a short story. I was talking to my dad, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I got you and Mom and Jules some Christmas gifts, and so they'll be headed your way." And he was just like, my dad was just like, Jamal, he goes, "You didn't have to give me no Christmas gift. You've done enough, and you need to save your money." And I was like, "Nah, Dad, I want to show my appreciation." And he's like, "You know what? You know what you can give me for Christmas? You can get me a daughter-in-law. That's what you can get. Because you need a wife." And so we just had a great time, and him picking at me for being single, and I get asked a question every time. "So Jamal, what's going on with the ladies in Chicago?" Just to let you know, I am still nice and single. Yes, still believing God for that promise, and faith fail not, absolutely. And so life-wise, it's going great. I spend a good majority of my time in ministry, but I also do have another job part-time that I work at during the day, and then as well I am still in school to finish my bachelor's. And so I just want to bless you with that. I want to say Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I pray that you be encouraged this season, and that you will continue to believe God for the greatest year in 2012. And I believe that your faith will fail not, and you're going to see every promise that God has promised you.